But this year, we happen to have a 9.0. A 9.0, which is perfect. And we rarely have that. I actually wrote it. It's students. 9.0, perfect score. Goes to German.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Guyanese Talent Tuesdays with me, Angelina Cotton. These episodes are all about me having conversations with Guyanese who are in Guyana or in the Diaspora, who are inspirational, doing exceptional work, or simply blazing their own trail. And we hope that you would be inspired by them. I am Angelina Cotton, and with much delight, I would like to introduce to you 28-year-old artistic director with global advertising agency, digital designer, a true lover of the creative arts, an outstanding Guyanese who is based in the USA, Jermine Hodge. It is a thrill to have you on our program. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, Angelina.
Yes, so getting right into it, you received a perfect score, 9 out of 9 on your thesis defense for your master's in branding and integrated communications from the City College of New York. And not only did you get a perfect score, but you were also the first to achieve that score in this program. What was that moment like for you?
It was very surprising because as someone who strongly believe in their passion, I didn't really I wasn't really that focused on the grades aspect of it and so forth. I was basically doing something that I enjoy. So when I found out that I got the perfect score, I was surprised. But then finding out that I was the first in the creative track, that made me a little bit more, like I felt as like I accomplished something, not just the highest score, but the first. And, the class of 2022 and onwards, they actually get someone, to actually look up to or look at my portfolio as, a portfolio that would actually get, a perfect score of a 9 out of 9.
Right. You're a role model and a Guyanese role model to that extent.
Yes. I
Yes.
came, I made my mark, and that's good enough for me.
Yes. Very good. Congratulations. Yes, so you have a mantra inspired by the lyrics of the late rapper Tupac Shakur. And it's the only thing that comes to a sleeping man is dreams. How do you apply that to your life?
Yeah, that quote by Tupac Shakur could be interpreted in two ways, in a negative way and a positive way. I choose to interpret it in the positive light, whereas I don't think he means like someone who actually like sleep all the time, but someone who know what their dream are and they actually like lay there and just daydream about it, because I daydream about most of the stuff that I've actually accomplished so far. And if you're not in the position where you want to be, I think my advice, the best way um to actually think about it is to just lay there by yourself, daydream about it, see yourself in that position, and then basically just go after it. So that's how like that code was, interpreted for me.
Lovely. Yes, because normally somebody would interpret it as you need to stop sleeping and get up and do what you must do. And so
Yes.
that is certainly what I got from it when I saw it. But it's good that you can take a different spin on it as well. And so you started to realize your passion for art and an ability at a tender age. Tell us what that was like for you.
Yeah, I always had a passion for art, like all form of art, not only drawing or designing what I do now, but also dancing, music, poetry, like all of these, I actually tried to do at a very young age. And I mean, just going back to, because my mom, she's a Christian and so forth. So I remember in church, um, one of the one of the pastor, he prophesied to me. I believe I was very young, but I remember it very well. I was about 7 or 8, and he was basically prophesying, and he held my hands and he asked me, you like drawing? And at that age, like I didn't even like had no idea about like drawing or anything like that. It was something that I liked, but it wasn't something that I saw myself doing at this age.
Yeah, you just had an interest then. It wasn't, yeah,
Yeah,
it developed into a passion. Yes.
yeah. And he was like, you like drawing? And little me, I was like, yeah, I like drawing. Because that's what like the kid in me would actually say. He was like, yeah, I see you like creating stuff with your hands and so forth. And like I remember that prophecy, but it was definitely something that others saw, but it took me a while before I actually like turned that passion into not a job but something that I could actually like you know gain from and create a business and profit also.
Nice, nice. Nice to know that. Sometimes even when you're younger, you may not figure it out as yet, but you just know that you have interest and now look at you.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so the reality is still remains that there's still remnants of a society that believes in the quintessential look of success, which is to become a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant, a corporate manager, and
Mhm.
you were feeling stifled in the academic box presented to you in high school, in your high school curriculum, because you wanted to focus more on your art. How did you manage to free yourself from that box and decide that I'm going to follow my passion?
Yeah, I shattered that box when I migrated because I don't think I had that opportunity to go behind that passion when I lived in Guyana and when I was in high school there, because traditionally you go to primary school and you go to secondary school, and if you can't really figure out what you want to do within your primary school year, then more than likely you would just go into like the traditional secondary school. But if your parents or if yourself, you're able to identify like your passion. And I mean, just looking back, we all know that some of these specialized schools, it costs a lot to go into also. So finance is also something that comes into play. But yeah, like I just went down the traditional route where you finish primary school, you go into secondary school, and my stream was business. But I just did what I had to do because I didn't really have that much option. I had to like complete high school, but I shattered that box when I moved to the US. Like a lot of opportunities came my way while I was in high school of the US, because I spent a year and a half in high school. Because when I migrated, I went in 11th grade, which is like Form 5 in secondary school in Guyana, and they have up to 12th grade, which is like Form 6. So I did a few months of 11th grade, and I did a whole year of 12th grade. And within 12th grade, that's when I started to capitalize on a lot of opportunities that came through the school, such as taking college courses while in high school. I did robotics, I did theater, I took part in poetry competitions for the school, and all of these were free for free. And like I didn't know what I wanted to do, but all of these opportunities that came my way, I was like, yeah, I'm a grasp at it and basically see, which ones stick, and whichever ones stick, then I'm a, run with that, because I wanted to make a very good choice when I enter college, but unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to make that decision or choose the college that offered the major that I wanted. So I just went straight back into business, and I did my associate in business management. And during those years, basically, I didn't really do that well in my business management. And I was taking like computer courses, and I realized that, my strength was basically like, you know, dealing with computers. And that was the closest thing to actually get me to explore like the creative side, and like doing digital designs and stuff. So I went on and I finished my bachelor's in computer information system. So yeah, it definitely came when I migrated.
Yeah. So what you did was, first of all, you decided to explore the opportunities that were available to you, and then you began to realize that certain things were not working out, and you started to go in a certain direction. So it's almost like faith kind of encouraging you to go into to come out of where you are and step into your purpose. And so that's the story I'm hearing as you're speaking, because you didn't intend to, because you're looking for that area, that niche that you wanted to go in, but it wasn't available at the time. But yeah,
Yes.
by that process of subtraction, rather, that you were able to find that area, and because of that, now you're an art director at an advertising company that is recognized as one of the world's most innovative in advertising, and has many big clients such as Adidas, Apple, Gatorade, Nissan, which is the company that you're working with now. How did that happen for you, and what does it mean for your career?
Yeah, that started back in December, working on a project for a class project for Penguin Books, which is a brand based in the UK. And yeah, basically me and my copywriter, we both took that responsibility to approach that brief. We broke it down. The brand was basically struggling to reconnect with younger generation, because they felt as though the younger generation were disconnected with reading like physical books and old literature such as Shakespeare and so forth. They weren't that interested in those forms of literature. So they wanted to find a way in which they could bring that generation closer to like those like classic literature. So what we did, we knew that that generation is, they kind of look up to like celebrities or social media influencer and so forth. So what we did is connect modern literature with classic literature, which is Shakespeare, and modern literature such as musicians. We use musicians based in the UK, being that the target audience was in the UK. So we did Ed Sheeran, Stormzy, and Lady Leisure. We used those three artists, and what we did is basically connect certain, like for example, Shakespeare Hamlet. We connected Shakespeare Hamlet with Stormzy and some of his songs and some of his stories, because both Shakespeare and his stories somewhat like connected. And we created that in a musical way, because we believe that that generation, they would gravitate toward music and visuals more than opening a physical book. yeah, and that was basically the project, and we well, we went, above and beyond. And like I say, it was never really something like a job for me. Like I was having fun at the same time. So I went basically above and beyond, and we, blew the campaign up and stuff. And yeah, one of the professor of the class, he's one of the executive creative director at TBWA. So he saw the work. He was amazed not only by the effort that was put into it, but you know, within this class, everyone had the same brief and we all had the same time frame. But somehow we find the time to took this brief so serious. So he was basically like looking at our work ethic, and yeah, he shoot us an email in early January or February, I believe, and he asked us to put together a portfolio of some of our strongest work, and he's gonna try to see what he could do to have us started at TBWA. And I mean, after that, it went by pretty fast. Wasn't really an interview or anything. We met the talent representative for TBWA. Then we we met one of the executive creative director for Nissan at TBWA. And yeah, they said they saw our work, they like it, and they just asked us like, when do we want to start? And they were comfortable with whatever date we gave them. They were very specific. They were like, yeah, we need a date because we don't want you guys to go somewhere else when you graduate. So just give us a date so we could start processing and lock you in. So yeah, it
Wow.
came out of hard work.
Wow, that's amazing. It's amazing that you put your all into something, and many persons look for things like that to happen in their life, just giving their all into something. And as you said, you weren't expecting all of this, but you just gave all, you went above and beyond, and this is
Mhm.
the result. And so once again, congratulations on that, because it's truly an amazing feat. And I'm sure you're having a wonderful experience there as well as the creative director. Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, I also understand that your mom, she has been a great inspiration to you, and I know many others would have. But tell us about your mom's encouragement and her influence to you in your journey of success.
Yeah, my mom, she was definitely a force. It's in my journey and in my undergrad, my master's, and also like high school. She made a lot of sacrifices. Not only my mom, but my dad also. They both made sacrifices. And being the youngest out of nine, I was basically not the one that basically they expected to like finish like that path that they already like started, which is like going to school, like get good jobs as society would label it as. So definitely I was definitely that person that was pressured, not only from my parents but my siblings. Like I said, they made a lot of sacrifices. She made sure that I finished my bachelor's. She was like, if I want to do my master's, that's on me. But she would do her job, which is let me finish my bachelor's, and once I finish my bachelor's, she would retire and go back to Guyana, basically, to enjoy the rest of her life. So just knowing that I had that goal and I had that responsibility, like my my graduation depended on retirement. So I was like, okay, yeah, like I gotta graduate because my mom, she needs to retire. She already made the age where she gotta retire. And the only way she could retire is me accomplishing that goal. I did accomplish that goal, and she retired, so it's a win-win on both ends.
On both sides. Yes, yes, that is a really interesting and a commendable thing as well, because many times our parents, they do make sacrifices for us. And for you to be able to recognize that, and she's also smart, allowing you to let you know this is you're responsible for my retirement in this regard, and you took that up and you went with it and give it your best, and so now she's
Yeah.
able to enjoy and to lay back and enjoy, and so she is in that sense, yes, your mom is really um she's great. She's great. She's awesome. And also, you said your siblings and your father, they also played a role in encouraging you to do your best. So that's wonderful. So how do you envision employing your skills and talent in creative arts to transform the media and entertainment industry in Guyana? What do you see for Guyana's future? With all your experience and everything that you have garnered so far, and your desire to be a creative artist. Is that it?
Creative director.
Director.
With umbrella.
Yes. How do you see these skills helping to transform the entertainment and media industry in Ghana?
I think Guyana have a lot of talented individuals that I came across and I work with, and I try to help to just give them like that view of like what is expected. So like most of the people that I've worked with so far are like musicians. So like I always try to like tell them that it's all about that package. It's look the way in which you show yourself to the public. Also content, visuals, and so forth. So besides working with most musicians, like definitely taking my skill set and just trying to be disruptive in a positive way where Guyanese could actually like feel comfortable to step out of the box and understand that everything don't need to be done like traditionally or what is expected. So definitely using my skill set and making Guyanese understand that it's okay to like step out of the box, because most of the best or craziest idea comes out of comfort zone. And I definitely want to take that and apply it both to the entertainment and also the media industry.
That is good. It's a good vision, and definitely I can see with that, Guyanese coming to a different level of entertainment, and that's in the theatrical area, film and all these things. I can see that moving, well, centuries up, or should I say decades up, and as your input will help to augment that space, and so that will be your contribution, or at least part of your contribution towards our country. Um, but in
I give it about 5 years, hopefully.
5 years, 5 years for a transformation.
Yeah, I give myself 5 years.
Right. Okay. So we hold you to that, and we definitely will look forward to your input. I also know that you have intentions to do certain documentaries. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I want to do a I want to do a biopic of the very notable Roger Khan, um who was lately freed, I believe, sometime last year. I mean, a lot of people would have their views on the type of person he is and his character and so forth, but that that comes back to like the comfort zone that I just spoke about. Like we would be on Netflix and we would be watching like shows about Pablo Escobar and all of these people that somewhat are negative to like certain people, but the moment someone tried to actually do something like that in Guyana, I believe everybody just like just come down and like start attacking them. And it's kind of contradicting because like you're comfortable enough to be entertained by these other shows on Netflix about these individuals, but when it's like home, you have all of these views. Like, what about those people in Mexico and Colombia and so forth? So yeah, I'm proud to say I wanna do a biopic of Roger Khan. Hopefully, I think I have the network and the team to actually get that done. Hopefully, that could actually be something that could live on, platforms such as Hulu and Netflix or any other digital platform. And also doing a documentary on, Buxton, which is where I grew up in. I believe that village has a lot of like rich history besides people stopping the train. That's what most people would would say when you say you're from Buxton. Oh, you're from that village that those people stopped the train. I'm like, nah, it's basically more than that. It goes back a while. So definitely highlighting the history of the village, what it was, like how it started, and what it is now, and the ways in which it was transferred. So those are like my two goals for like documentary, branching off to the film production.
I think that is very ambitious, and you have every right to be. And with those dreams that you have for our country, I look forward to seeing you in the years to come and for this production, God's Spare Life. I think it's a really good thing to aim for. I would love to see documentaries coming out in Guyana. And you mentioned those two major ones, but I'm sure you'd want to venture off into different things, especially when it comes to showcasing, the beautiful side of our country. There's so much beauty there, and I'm sure that
Mhm.
with your skills, that would be able to come out to what we would say international standards. And so
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing that kind of product um, in the years to come, right? In high school, you mentioned that um, you were not sure about what you wanted to do with your life. And I presume many other young persons may have felt the same way whether because of the school curriculum um, box or limitation, or they just can't figure out yet what they would like to do and how
Mhm.
to get to fulfilling their dreams. They know what they're feeling, but they don't know how to get there. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I would say to first identify your passion. I know that's not easy to do because a lot of people really don't know what their passion is. A lot of people even like confuse like passion with something that you like. I would say passion is something that basically you can't really go a day without,
Mhm.
touching. And for me, like my passion is like, the in the creative field. And a day won't pass where I'm not like watching YouTube videos or other creative work and stuff. So when you see yourself like doing that thing every day, like that's where your passion falls in. Also, like just moving on beyond passion, like is this something that you could actually see yourself making a career out of? And would it feel like a job afterwards? Because you don't, if it starts feeling like a job, that's not really your passion. because once it start feeling like a job, it's like, yeah, you're looking at the time and stuff. And when I'm working, I don't even be looking at the time. My mom, she be calling me and asking me like, oh, she's back again. And she be calling me and asking me, you had breakfast? Because I be having breakfast at like 4 in the afternoon and
Oh,
having dinner at probably like 12 or 1 a.m. in the morning and so forth. Yeah, I know it's a bad habit, but those are like little stuff. Like when you're really into something, like time goes by, you really don't be checking the time. You enjoy doing what you do. So identify that passion. Don't look at it as, okay, like, yeah, I'm a dancer, so I'm gonna go to a dance school in order to like get gigs and stuff. You don't need to like go to a dance school to like get gigs. You could be your own choreographer. You could like work with
yeah.
artists, not only musicians, but movies and so forth, because choreography goes a long way. So
Mhm.
definitely those two, identifying your passion and seeing how far your passion would actually take you. Don't just touch the surface.
Right. And to look at the status quo as to the traditional way of process towards reaching your dream.
Yeah.
And many times it's just to step out and do what you have to do. But Jermaine, many times young people, most persons who are looking to follow their dream, they're wondering, I want to follow my dreams, but this doesn't seem, I cannot wait for the money, their needs and things that, how would I be able to just tap into this thing, especially if it is not a traditional or the
Yeah.
status quo type of job? Or how would you advise them to?
I mean, it's okay. I think you got to look at your situation also because, I mean, more than likely, I didn't start off as an art director for an advertising agency. Like I had to go through that path where, I did retail jobs. I work in like restaurant, working with food and stuff. Like that's not my passion, but I use those I use those opportunities to like gain
That
my
can
income
bring, yeah.
to further my studies. So it's like you gotta look at your position, you gotta know what you want, and then you gotta like balance that. Is either because a lot of people they do jobs, they know they have a it's evident that they have a passion, but they get into a job and get very comfortable with the money and stuff, and they just end up being stuck there. So you got to
Mhm.
know what you want, definitely know what you want, and use those opportunities that comes as a stepping stone to like meet those goals.
Right. So even though you may have to take other jobs, you keeping that dream in sight. You're not losing sight of your dream, but you'll be getting different stepping stones towards that dream while you continue to work on your passion and to fuel your passion. I think that is really good advice. Very good advice. And you're a Guyanese in a different country, and you are shattering glass ceilings from which we would have talked about today. What does that mean to you as a Guyanese?
I mean, it means a lot because not that often you see a lot of or you hear about of a lot of stories about Guyanese making progress in the U.S. I think there's a lot of stories out there, but I believe a lot of people, when they meet certain level in life, they kind of get disconnected with their culture. So it's very hard to identify like who these people are. So like that's one thing about me. I always like try to stay grounded. I visit Guyana a lot. I stay up to date with everything that's going on. I stay connected with my friends and families, like mostly my friends way back to like primary school. Like I still have connections with them. So definitely just staying connected, helped me a lot. And it's definitely a dream come true, I would say. And I'm glad to be I'm glad to be here to, to be sharing my stories with, on different Guyanese on platforms so that, hopefully it could reach someone, have similar passion.
And certainly an inspiration, and very much impressed by your position as a young person to reach your dreams. And I'm sure young persons who are listening will be inspired by what you would have said and on your way as you continue to dream and reach higher. But Jermaine, I am so thrilled to have had this conversation with you, and it's a pleasure. And just to hear your story and to know that someone, a Guyanese, he's standing out, not only in Guyana, but you're there in the diaspora, just making sure that your Guyanese light continue to shine and burn. And I continue to wish you all the best and keep being ambitious, keep dreaming and doing all that you desire to do. And I truly look forward to seeing the product produce your production rather in the years to come, and to say, I spoke to him, I know him. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. All right, so thank you very much for sharing and spending this time and sharing your story with the viewers out there.
Thank you for having me also.
Thank you so much to you, our viewers, for joining us once again on another episode, and we look forward to bringing to you more Guyanese Talent Tuesdays episodes, so look out. In the meantime, make sure that you have joined our group on Facebook and on Instagram, and follow us on YouTube as well. So until next time, remember that we are